Good morning, and thanks again for listening to Behind the Scenes at the Hanover Theatre. This is Lisa Conant. I'm the Director of Marketing and PR at the Hanover Theatre, and the lucky woman who gets to host this fabulous show on Sunday mornings with you. And today I'm in the studio with 3 people involved with our youth summer program, and this is the first time, as you all know, that we've expanded our youth summer program into 2 sessions. I had the pleasure of speaking with a couple of cast members last time, and this time I have the new Laurie, and I also have Rocco, who is the acting assistant, and David McArthur, who is our assistant operations manager. He helps Megan with a whole bunch of different things, not the least of which is keeping track of what's going on in the youth summer program and helping me out with different things. So welcome. Why don't you guys introduce yourselves and tell us a little bit about what you do with the youth summer program, what role you play, if you have a role.
I'm actually the acting assistant.
And this is Rocco.
I'm Rocco. And I basically assist Megan Patrick, the director, with some of the directing aspects of the show, but also helping with the kids in the program really nail down their acting skills. And I help Megan teach their acting classes. And then when it comes to production time, I'm also working backstage to make sure everything goes smoothly and the show goes off without a hitch.
The show must always go on, right?
It always does, yes.
So Rocco, you've been working on a couple of different productions with us, but also you've been working with Megan for quite some time, right?
Yes, I actually I went to Grafton High School, where Megan is the director of all the shows there. So I've been directed by her in the past, and for the past 2 years now, I've worked as her assistant on this program. So we have quite a dynamic, but it's fun. We know each other very well, and I think it makes it easier, especially when you're working, with arts and education, to really have like a good team to go at things and have a plan for everything.
Oh, absolutely. And so what's one of the things that you enjoy most about working with Megan and the other actors at the youth summer program?
I think it's really fun to see how much the kids grow over the 3 weeks. We see them come in really nervous on the first day because they have auditions, and they're not really sure what's going to happen and what role they're going to get, and nobody's really friends yet. And by the last performance, when it's all said and done, they're all crying and tearing up, and we see them from their shaking beginnings and the auditions to being stars on stage and just leaving it all out there. So that's, I think, my favorite part, is really watching them grow, because it's a very short amount of time to do a show. But we like to think that we can get a lot out of them in 3 weeks.
Yeah. So. You guys are short yet intense.
Yes.
So what are some of the things, we talked about this is the first time we've done a second session, and actually some of the kids are in the second session that were also in the first session. Mm-hmm. How is this different than the first session? I know you're doing the same production.
Well, I think whenever you have a different cast, and we also have a new musical director and choreographer on this show, you really, it breathes new life into the same script that we were using. So, every character is going to be played a little differently by a different kid, and everyone kind of has their own influence on each role. And I think, you really get a completely different animal in the end, especially with this program. We have about the cast is about half the size of the first one, and that definitely affects a lot of things in the way that it's smaller on stage, but it's also a more intimate setting, and you feel like you get to know parts of the ensemble a lot better than you would with a bigger cast. So it's the same show, it's just words on a page, but when you put different people behind it and different people in roles, it becomes a whole new animal. So
well, I am dying to see how Sam does in his new role. We spoke with him during the last session. Do you want to tell us a little bit about the role he had before and the role he has now, and give us a little sneak?
Yeah, Sam played Judd Fry in last session, which is kind of the villain of the show, and he's very brooding and really not a very likable character. And in this session, he's playing Will Parker, who is the comic relief and the lovable kind of dope of the show almost. And it's very funny to see him go from, a completely dramatic and tortured kind of character to just, this like full of energy, boy bouncing around on stage and, being in love the entire time. So it's, these kids are really versatile. It's really impressive. So.
Oh, I cannot wait to see that. And here we have the new Laurie. Tell us about yourself. And is this your first time participating in the youth summer program?
Yes, it is. This is my first time doing a show at Hanover, and so far it's been a lot of fun. It's only been 4 days in, I guess. But yeah, the other cast members are great, and it's been a great experience so far.
Now, do you do theater outside of the youth summer program at your school?
I do, yeah. I've been acting for quite some time now, and it's my passion.
It's your passion. So what's it like that first day when everybody goes in and they audition for the new roles?
It's really exciting. The one thing is auditions are always nerve-wracking, of course, but the best thing about them is that there's this huge sense of hope in the fact that you have a new show, you have a new part to play, and that's just really inspirational because from that point, anything can really happen.
And so what do you really like about the character that you're playing? Tell us a little bit about her.
She's a very interesting character in the sense that she's complex because in one way she's very strong, she's independent, but at the same time she needs to encompass a sort of girlish sweetness and innocence. So it's kind of difficult to find that balance in her.
Well, you know what, David? I have to tell you that ever since I saw the show, that song, It's a Beautiful Morning, plays through my mind every time I get up and the sun is shining outside and I'm like, all right, we need to stop this. It's like I feel like I'm going to have a little character of a bluebird singing on my shoulder at any moment when I look around. Do you ever find yourself in kind of surreal moments like that?
Yeah. All the
Every
time.
day at the Hanover Theatre, right?
Every day, yeah.
And so from your perspective, tell us a little bit about your role. Like I said, you're the assistant operations manager, and I'm sure that just has a big breadth of responsibilities.
Yes, I work directly under Megan. We deal with all the day-to-day tasks for people, like getting the lunch for the crew and things like that during their tech week. And I just help Megan with anything she needs that keeps it running.
Well, during the youth summer program, there's a lot that needs to happen, and I know that she depends on you and she loves you, and during the rest of the season, I know you're very busy running around keeping everything in order, and you do a great job, David. And we're also really pleased to have you as a full-time staff member. David started with us as a part-time person, but he did such a great job, and we loved him so much, he became a full-time staff member. So,
They decided to keep me.
Yay! Yay! So what are some of the things that you really enjoy about the youth summer program, David?
It's great to see all the different kids when they come in, because I help Megan with their applications when they come in, and I set up their paperwork, and then when they come in, it's just interesting to see what they look like and how they act, and yeah, it's always interesting, and it's just great working with Megan and all that. So yeah, she always does an amazing job.
She really does. And again, we keep saying in just 3 weeks, but it's amazing to me that you have a group of teenagers, 12 to 17 or 18?
12 to 18.
12 to 18, and they, over the course of less than 3 weeks, they audition, they learn the parts, they learn the acting, they learn. How many different songs are you guys singing in this production? Oh, it's a top
They're singing
quiz.
a lot. It's
Yeah.
Oklahoma's a very music-heavy show, and it requires a lot of sitting around the piano and really just plunking out those harmonies. And our musical director this session, Michael, he's been really great. He's actually a teacher at Shrewsbury High School. He's a music teacher, and he's brought a lot to this program in the way that music is so daunting, and he makes it so easy to approach, and he makes it fun, and he makes it engaging, and I think that's how they're able to get it down, really, is through his instruction.
Oh, that's great. And another thing I noticed with the show, there is a lot of choreography, so there's a lot of dance for everybody to learn, not just the girls, but the boys, too. That's one of the things that our previous cast members had said, wow, the dancing, especially for boys, you might not have as much of a background typically, and I mean completely stereotypical there, but a lot of times girls have a little bit more formal dance training than the boys, but you would never know it when you watch this production. So tell us about the new choreographer for the show.
For this session, we actually have Lindiana. She's our new choreographer, and she owns the Lindiana School of Dance, I believe it's called, in Worcester. I apologize. I'm pretty sure it's the Lindiana School of Dance. But and she's new to the program as well. And she's a really talented choreographer and educator, and she actually studied with Alvin Ailey Dance Company in New York City, which is a very famous organization. And I think seeing as she really is a new face, that's one of the ways that the show changes over time. Is it's not the same dance every time. It's it's a new person kind of directing how the story is told through dance. And especially we have a very long dream ballet portion of the show in which the Lori, Nora over here, has a dream. Her character has a dream about what's going to happen. And it's so important to have a choreographer who's really committed, and she's doing a great job.
Wow, that's great. So Laurie, do you do ballet as well?
I did some ballet when I was younger, but in this case, there's actually another cast member. Her name is Zoe. She'll be playing the dream Lori, if you will. Mm-hmm. So what essentially happens is we switch places, and then I go over to the porch and I fall asleep, and she does the ballet with Curly and Judd, and it's really amazing. It's coming together. That's what we've been working on for the past 2 days. And originally it's a 16-minute ballet in the original production, which they've cut down to 6, but it's still an impressive number, and it seems to be coming along very nicely.
Well, and I'm glad you brought that up because Oklahoma is a fairly long musical.
Yes, it is.
What's the running time for the Youth Summer Program's production?
Youth Summer Program should come in just below 3 hours, I believe, just under. But it's certainly a fun-filled 3 hours. So,
absolutely.
It's definitely worth the wait, and I think... in this age of movies and TV shows, we're not used to that kind of entertainment lasting a little longer than 2 hours. That seems to be the cutoff. But Rodgers and Hammerstein, the writers of the show, make it a really enjoyable amount of time to take you back to 1906 in Oklahoma. So.
Oh, totally. Love it. So we have the Youth Summer Program production of Oklahoma, and the second season or series will be August 17th and August 18th. That's Saturday and Sunday. 2 performances on Saturday the 17th, one at 2 p.m., one at 7 p.m., and on Sunday, just the 2 p.m. So make sure you go onto our website, thehanovertheatre.org. You can buy tickets right there online, and they're very reasonably priced. So you really can bring the whole family, and we hope to see you there. Anything you guys want to say about what you really love about Oklahoma or you want people to know that they might not think of?
From the cast perspective, the actor?
I'd say it's just a really fun show, and each song, there's a lot of songs, as Rocco mentioned. Each song is quite different. There's different styles, so you have ballads, you have dance numbers. It's just a really fun, entertaining show.
And what's nice about it is it's very easy to follow. I was thinking as you were saying that, like with Les Miserables, that was a phenomenal musical. I think it really helped that I had my daughter watch the video before we saw it on the stage because she loved the stage production even more than she loved the movie. And I think that seeing it on film first helped to just make her more familiar with the story. Something like Oklahoma, you don't need to really pregame. You don't need to look at the Cliff's Notes. You don't need to do any research. It is very evident, and it's just fun, and it's a really good time. So, again, it's thehanovertheatre.org. Check out our blog, and again, that's behind the scenes at thehanovertheatre.org. And we will see you at the theater in August 17th and 18th. Thank you guys so much for coming in, and have a fabulous day.
Thank you.
Thank you.